So how do you choose a new computer? I mean, nowadays with distance learning or with everybody needing a computer to do online classes, I bet that you actually need a computer for learning, for doing all the work that you want. So I'm here to tell you or give you some tips about how I choose a computer so that at the end of the day, I will not regret buying my computer and I'll be happy with my purchase. So there are 5 things that you need to remember before you buy a computer, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video, so I hope you watch. So the first thing you must consider before you buy a computer is your budget. Most of the time, computer shops will actually ask you about this. They will inquire or they will ask you what is your budget for a new computer. So I would highly recommend that you do not exceed the budget that you have set, because computer shops will actually persuade you to actually buy computers that are so much more expensive or higher than your budget. So the best practice or the rule of the thumb is to actually stick to whatever you have decided to buy your computer with. Do not exceed your budget, because at the end of the day, if you exceed your budget, you are the one that's going to pay for it. So my advice is to stick strictly to your budget and make sure that the computer person or the salesperson does not sway you in any way, because I've worked in a computer shop before, and that's always the case. We try to persuade customers as much as possible to get the slightest upgrade for a bit more buck. My suggestion when it comes to budget is to allocate around 2,000 to 3,500 ringgit for a good computer. Because for me, computers within this range of price will allow you to do basic things from typing to extended things like slight, small graphic designs. I'm not talking about heavy designs, and it also allows you to play games. So this budget is just nice, 2,000 to 3,500 ringgit. Anything beyond that is actually a bonus. Anything below that actually is discouraged by me. The second thing you need to consider before you buy a computer is to think about how you are going to use the computer, because every computer specification is catered to a certain type of way of use. For example, if you're doing a lot of office work, you're doing a lot of typing, you rarely or generally will not do any graphic designs. You do not need to have the budget up to 3,000 ringgit. You can go much lower. So you can just source out a computer that is low end or mid-range. But if you plan to use a computer for a lot of gaming, you plan to use a computer for a lot for graphic designs, designing, video editing and so on, then of course you need to get a better powered computer. And how you use the computer will actually decide which parts of the computer you need to prioritize more. For example, if you're into gaming, you need to prioritize on graphics and also RAM. So for my case, I actually will recommend i3, Intel i3 and above, or Ryzen 3 and above. I will also recommend Pentium if you're just doing typing, but I will not recommend Intel Celeron, because I've used Intel Celeron before and I think it's just too slow even for typing. At some point, I think that when you open tabs, when you use the computer for Excel, Celeron just doesn't cut it. So that is the second thing you need to consider before you buy a laptop or a computer. And the third thing you need to consider carefully before you buy a computer is probably how you want to carry it around. If you don't intend to move the computer a lot, then I would highly recommend you a desktop, because you will get good specs but at a lower price. But if you're going to move the computer a lot, then a laptop will be more suitable. A lot of people forget about how they're going to carry around the computer. So they end up buying computers that are cheap but weigh a ton. Sometimes people tend to forget about weight when they consider their laptop, especially when they're considering their laptop. I mean, buying a desktop is just flat out, it's not movable. It's going to be on your desk at home or at work for a long periods of time. You're not planning to move it anytime soon. But when you buy a laptop, a lot of people tend to forget about how they're going to carry the laptop around. I mean, I carried a laptop worth about 2 kilograms and I would complain, because I used to carry it to the airport, go on travels, and I felt that it was quite heavy on me. So when you think about a laptop, when you see a laptop that is weighing 2 kilograms, you must consider that you are not going to carry the laptop alone. You're going to carry with you the charging block. You're going to carry with you the mouse probably, or sometimes you might even carry books. So if you are moving a lot, I do recommend that you get a laptop as light as possible. Of course, a light laptop will jack up the price, but then again, that's why people build laptops, is for you to bring around. So you have to consider the weight of the laptop before you make a purchase. The third thing that you need to consider before you buy a laptop is the brand and also the warranty. Personally, I am not that particular about brands because I feel every laptops are more or less the same. Of course, certain laptops tend to be a bit better than the rest because they have less bloatware, but that it stops just about there. In terms of quality, I do feel laptops are more or less the same. So what you want to look into a laptop is actually the warranty. The warranty can be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or whatsoever it is, but at the end of the day, the most important thing for me is that the warranty center or the service center for your laptop or the brand is nearby. Because I live in Kuching and there are some laptops that do not have a warranty or service center in Kuching. So if my laptop were to be damaged and I need to send it back to them, I would have to carry it over to wherever it is, and that will take time, it will take a lot of effort, and it will waste money. So if the service center is nearby, you can just drop it off and get it back as soon as possible. So you have to consider that. Don't look at the brand, but look at the warranty that is provided. Of course, if you're planning to buy a laptop, the next thing you need to consider is where you're going to buy it. Nowadays, there's a lot of online shops. There's a lot of online offers on Shopee, on Lazada, or whatsoever it is. All these options online are great, but I'm a bit traditional, so I actually prefer to hold the laptop. I like to hold the laptop in my hands, just like when I'm buying t-shirts or clothes. Make sure that's actually fit to my desire. I would like to know whether the keyboard is good, whether I enjoy typing on the keyboard. I like to know if the screen, when it's on, I like how the screen looks and how it feels and so on. So one of the reasons why I prefer to actually touch and feel the laptop and look at the laptop in person instead of buying online is because I get to actually see where the ports are. The location of the USB ports, the ports of a laptop are very, very particular to me. And I'm also very particular about heat dispersion. Meaning to say, how does the laptop cool itself down? Okay, most laptops, or sometimes when you buy laptops online, you do not see where the hot air goes out. So this causes your laptop to be hot, and when you're using it for hours and hours, your hands get sweaty. So I really dislike that. So that said, I think it is very important that you actually physically check the laptop to see whether you like it or not. So no online stores for me. So there you have it, 5 ways to find the right laptop for you. I do hope that these 5 tips will help you to find the perfect laptop for you. And I do hope that if you have any suggestions on how to find a laptop, just leave a comment below. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Cyril, and good night.